Everybody gets connected at some forum, some town hall, some community centers. But we have to meet. Why? Because our kids need to meet. You need a Muslim woman, and all women know that. You need a Muslim group of women, to feel better and stronger inside your hijabs. You take that first step as a man to not go into mortgage, to not go into that interest game. You need some power from the other people. Like, you know what? We're doing it. Like, we're living around it and not into it. We're living against it. We can survive, you can survive too. That's the power of community coming together. This is the only way these kids are going to gain the confidence in Australia as aliens coming in that, you know what? I want to say something in the next speech class. And I want to say something I believe in. Because I have 1,000 people in my town hall who appreciated this speech. I am not shivering with tremors because I am a single alien cell amongst all of you white folks. This is Fatima bint Muhammad. Inshallah, you're going to hear this word echoing through Australia, in Scandinavia, inshallah. Fatima, what is herd immunity?
Herd immunity is when one person in a community becomes immune to something. Like, for example, in COVID, one person got...
You're a little louder. The mic is not that good.
One person, for example, in a community got COVID, and they become immune to COVID. So now
they're not going to get COVID.
They're not going to get COVID.
So they're reckless.
Yeah.
Because they're immune.
Yeah. So when people got COVID, they also became immune, and the entire herd became immune to COVID.
Now, Fatima, tell me something. At 14, do you know the law in Australia about how they electrocute the chicken?
I've heard of it. Like, they electrocute the chicken before it goes to the slaughterhouses, so it's already dead.
Slaughter is for a live animal. You slaughter a live animal. You don't slaughter a dead animal.
So it's already dead when it goes there.
Yeah. So when it's an animal is already dead, what do you call that in Islam?
Not hand slaughter.
Can you eat it?
No, you can't.
You can't? Oh my God. Fatima bint Muhammad, are you telling me that like Denmark or Canada, Australia has the same law?
Yes.
So you at 14 had heard about it? And you at 45 years of Australia didn't? See the slide behind you? That slide behind you is of mental capital. It translates into political capital. But it stems from the moral capital. Okay? So, Fatima, what do you mean hurt can... Let me get this straight, because most of the people don't know what you're talking about, right? Let's look into the camera. Because you're going to address all the overseas Muslims. Because except for 3 countries, all the Western countries have this law. And these 3 countries are going to get this law. Or Australia already had this law. So, are you telling me all that chicken on those conveyor belts is really dead before they just try and fake a slaughter? Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar.
Yes, I am.
Oh my God. Not necessarily dead. More probably dead. Not necessarily dead. You know what I'm really mad at? I'm mad at the fact that when I came to Australia, the first thing everybody said was, now we're going to treat you halal. Come, let's eat. And for 5 days, I ate. Till I met Fatima bint Muhammad. Fatima, tell me, herd immunity. Somewhere, somebody started this thing, and now everybody's immune to this. What is this problem?
When everyone becomes immune to this, they stop paying attention to like the actual problem.
So is this a herd immunity for
a philosophy?
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
So it's a philosophical dissonance. Look at him. Everyone's thinking the same thing. How dare you? How dare you? So somebody started this, a rumor. It's a rumor. And everybody played on that rumor. It's like, yeah, halal hi hoga bhai. Mere pe thodi sawal hai, usne bola halal hai. Hai na? That's the play. That's the play. What's the argument against this play? If somebody says ye halal hai, to mere se to sawal nahi hona chahiye na?
Yeah, that's argument.
That is the argument. And the counter argument is, if you didn't read the law of Australia, then that's a question that you have two questions to answer in the court of Allah. आपको पहले तो वो पता होना चाहिए था, जिसने कहा था हलाल है उसको पता होना चाहिए था, वो मियाँ उस लॉ के अंदर तो कुछ चीज़ हलाल हो नहीं सकती. आपने उसकी बात मान ली जिसने कहा उस बेचारे को तो पता भी नहीं लॉ का, आपको तो लॉ का पता है. You see the problem? I'm not here to corrupt your next dinner. वो तो गया. वो तो गया, inshallah. I'm here to tell you what critical thinking looks like. And that's why most people don't do critical thinking. So Fatma, what do you have to say about this?
I say that we shouldn't be immune to this philosophy because it makes us not question, makes us forget to question what's actually right and what's wrong in the bigger picture.
So who do you blame?
I blame whoever spread the rumor and told everyone to stop questioning it, and ourselves for believing it.
Yes, you can't blame anybody else. You have to, you're 14 now, okay? You can, now at 14, you cannot blame anybody. As a Muslim, there is nobody you can blame, ever. Okay? You are, instead of blaming, you have to take a stance and say, you know what? Today, Fatima bint Muhammad is not herd immune. From now on, I am not going to live into or walk through the fractures of your philosophy, my elders. Because I'm sorry, Fatima, I did fracture your philosophy. I am your elders. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So unless you take a stance, no one else will. Because they have this thing called momentum. You do not have that right now. What you have is mind, heart, okay? Right. Openness. We're going to actually feel bad for a loss of so many years. I can't just waste those. If I'm wrong in all of those years, then I'm a nothing. So just to make that fake esteem, I keep doing what I'm doing. I just can't accept that all of those years were just wasted. So, Fatma, thank you so much. I would wish you would keep sitting here because I want everyone to know that this is that easy. It is that easy. Mental capital starts at this age, ends at this age, starts at this age, and कुछ नहीं हो सकता मेरा अब. Time पे नहीं start हुआ मेरे ऊपर machine. Make sure our kids are not distracted. Every single chance of distraction पे हम बच्चे पाल रहे हैं. बच्चे को distract करने का नाम देसी आंटी, अम्मी. नहीं मजाक नहीं कर रहा हूँ, सीरियस. रो रहा है, डिस्ट्रैक्ट करो. सवाल डिस्ट्रैक्ट करो. सिर्फ दो काम है आंटी के, खाना खाया, कपड़े कैसे हैं. खाना खाया, कपड़े कैसे हैं. अम्मी मैं जहाज पे जा रहा हूँ. बेटा खाना खाया है. Literally, imagine that. अम्मी का एक ही काम है, distraction. वहाँ भी करें, distract करो. We have to make sure they're not distracted. How? हर फैसिलिटी देनी है आपने. ऑस्ट्रेलिया आए हैं, फ़ायदा उठाएं आप. ऑस्ट्रेलिया में वो काम है जो कि पाकिस्तान में नहीं हो सकते. बच्चों का IQ एटलीस्ट 20 पॉइंट्स बढ़ना चाहिए फर्स्ट 12 ईयर्स के अंदर. That's what mental capital is. And if you have the right philosophy and child has the right IQ, दो स्टेप्स इंस्टेंटली आपने स्टेप ले लिए। अगर चाहे IQ नहीं है तो फिर आई एम सॉरी, वो क्या करेगा, वो जो आप कर रहे हैं वो करेगा, जो आप कह रहे हैं वो सुनेगा, इसके अलावा वो कुछ ऐड ऑन नहीं कर सकता उसमें, और वो भी ज़्यादा पूरा तो नहीं कर सकेगा। वी आर लेसर वर्जन ऑफ आवर फादर्स, यू ऑल नो दैट, ओके, अनलेस वी प्रोपेल देम हायर बाय रेजिंग देयर IQ। दूसरा, पॉलिटिकल कैपिटल सिर्फ और सिर्फ इस साल का बच्चा स्टार्ट कर सकता है। पकड़ के रखे हम, पॉलिटिकल कैपिटल फातिमा बिन्त मोहम्मद कैसे करेगी? लुक एट दिस, मेक श्योर योर चिल्ड्रन आर कनेक्टेड टुगेदर। आप लोग अपने बच्चे आपस में कनेक्ट करेंगे मजबूरन, इसलिए उर्दू में बोल रहा हूं ये। ऑल द कम्युनिटी हैज टू कम टुगेदर। मैं बताता हूं उसकी साइंस, अल्लाह ने और साइंस दोनों ने बता दी। क्या है? ये है, दिस पॉलिटिकल कैपिटल नेचुरली ट्रांसलेट इनटू मोरल कैपिटल। इफ यू आर ऑल कमिंग टुगेदर, सब बच्चों की मोरालिटी का फाइबर ऊपर जा रहा है। अकेले अकेले ना आपके बच्चे मोरली हाई हो सकते हैं, because morality is the accumulative sum of the thresholds of the group you live in. Morality, the whole of morality, the justification of sin or not, or doing the right thing, all of this is an accumulative sum of the cumulative average of the people that I'm hanging out with, being with. So you will see that your best friends all of a sudden are setting the thresholds of right and wrong for your kids as well. Your kids are going to justify the same sins your best friend does. So the more people coming together, the more stronger, deeper, grounded principles बच्चे होने. That's why Muslims compromise on everything, because we're not coming in as a community. Ironically, पाकिस्तान में एक ऐसा लफ्ज़ बोला जाता है, ironically, जो बोला नहीं चाहिए क्योंकि वो छोटा सा क्लस्टर, मगर बोला जाता है, बड़ा काम का लफ्ज़ है। वो कहते हैं ख़ानदानी बंदा है, ख़ानदानी औरत है, ख़ानदानी मर्द है, तो वो क्या नहीं करेगा? ख़ानदानी का मतलब क्या लेते हो? छोटी हरकतें नहीं करेगा, प्रेडिक्टेबल है, ये कंसिस्टेंट होगा, ख़ानदानों में पला बड़ा है, इसको तौर अतवार का, रख रखाव का, लोगों की एम्पैथाइज करना आता होगा, जस्टिस की सेंस होगी इसके अंदर। ख़ानदानी आदमी का मतलब है अकेले सोलो नहीं पड़ा। We get that psychology from that, and that's by the way true. खानदानी लोग ज़र्फ के ज़रा बड़े हो चुके, because they are exposed, बचपन से ट्रेन हुए होते हैं, हर तरह की सिचुएशंस देखी हुई होती है उन्होंने। खानदानी होने के फ़ायदे होते हैं, बड़े ख़ानदानों के बड़े फ़ायदे। बड़े का मतलब है तादाद में बड़े छोटे कुछ नहीं होता। That's what I'm saying, that's what psychology says. Unless you come together in Melbourne, everybody gets connected at some forum, some town hall, some community centers. We had to meet. Why? Because our kids need to meet. Our kids need to know that they're all in the same community, they're growing and harboring each other, brewing each other's morality. Because I'll tell you, I'm so sorry, but Australia is not going to teach them Islamic morality. I'm sorry. Because a million times Quran counters all of those other philosophies when it goes through the veins of these systems. You need a Muslim woman, and all women know that. You need a Muslim group of women, to feel better and stronger inside your hijabs. That's how it is. You take that first step as a man to not go into mortgage, to not go into that interest game. You need some power from the other people. Like, you know what? We're doing it. Like, we're living around it and not into it. We're living against it. We can survive, you can survive too. That's the power of community coming together. And I'll tell you the case study in America. Most overseas Muslim Pakistanis in America, they don't live together. They live in isolations. Very small clusters. Don't give me Dallas case studies. That's very recent. Most of the American Muslims are scattered. And now you can see, compare whatever their problems are domestically, their kids, their children, versus English Muslims, and you'll find out a million times difference. In England, Muslims clusters are bigger. They live in communities. Their general problems are way, way less in terms of the gap between parents and kids, in the gap between value systems. I'm not saying Muslim kids in England are like, oh my God, mu'mineen. What I'm saying is, और philosophy का फर्क तो वहाँ पे भी आ गया ना, वो भी single ही खेल रहे हैं as a Muslim. But in America and in England, that's why when I see that big difference, I'm not going to say Scandinavia because Scandinavian migration is a little, well, not that recent, but less older than English. But Scandinavian Muslims are living in a certain tight-knit community. Scandinavian Muslims do that. That's beautiful. They started like this. I don't know how it happened, but it happened. But in Australia, I do not know. Only you can tell me. I only know a few people in Australia. They are connected to each other, but that's the only small little group that they're connected with. I do not think that these 500 people are well aware of each other and know each other by face or by wherever you're from, or by kids. If you do not know each other by their kids, you don't know him at all. You need to know each other through his kids so that you can get your kids and his kids together and everybody coming together. This is the only way these kids are going to gain the confidence in Australia as aliens coming in that, you know what, I want to say something in the next speech class. And I want to say something I believe in. Because I have 1,000 people in my town hall who appreciated this speech. I am not shivering with tremors because I am a single alien cell amongst all of you white folks or different philosophy folks. Okay? That's how you give confidence to your kids to become more active in political scenarios and social systems. That's how stronger kids grow into. And that's another case study for English Muslims. English Muslims are 1,000,000 times more into political arenas. They speak well, they represent well, they're way more confident in the representation of Islam. How did that happen? Of course they happened because they were backed up by their clusters. And I do not know, but you should start coming together for the sake of the children, for the sake of bringing that sort of a solution for your kids' political acumen. The accumulative moral strength of the group determines the moral base. Morals accumulative ही होते हैं. अकेले बंदे की morality कभी भी नहीं reflect करेगी बच्चे पे. Group की morality बच्चे पे reflect करेगी. Otherwise, every Mu'min would have a Mu'min son or a daughter. But every Mu'min is complaining that, you know what, गलत company में मेरा बच्चा. Company means group. Okay, so all of you coming together, वैसे भी पाकिस्तानियों को एक दूसरे को देख के अच्छा दिखाने का बहुत ज़बरदस्त सिंड्रोम है, फ़ायदा उठाए उसका. We show our best selves. Everybody is a Mu'min in front of each other. तो बच्चे कहते हैं सारे मोमिनीन हैं. वो तो गाड़ी में बैठ के चलता आई हुई थी ना, देखा दोबारा आई और ग़ीबत शुरू. मगर सामने सामने बच्चे तो नहीं करते ना ग़ीबत, बच्चे तो नहीं करते. So बच्चे she's not a child. I'm not going to call this adult functioning brain of an Islamic capital, inshallah, a child. I'm not going to disrespect that. I'm talking about children 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is Fatima bint Muhammad. Inshallah, you're going to hear this word echoing through Australia, in Scandinavia, inshallah. Saying the right things at the right time in the perfect, most eloquent expressions. Especially about things that matter. Things that matter to my daughters, your daughters. There has to be preparation. और अगर आपको मेरे बच्चे का पता ही नहीं, मेरी बच्ची का नाम फातिमा बिन्त मोहम्मद, मेरी क्या मदद करेंगे आप? इसकी डेवलपमेंट में आप मेरी मदद कैसे करेंगे? You need to know who I am, representing and what am I developing in my house. If you know that, I'm going to help you. You're going to help me. You're going to help her. वरना तो क्या आँख उज्जल पहाड़ उज्जल. बच्ची मैंने छुपाई हुई आप सबसे, तो बच्ची की खाप हेल्प करनी है आपने. मेरा बेटा किसी को पता ही नहीं है क्या कर रहा है, किस एज का है. आपने क्या कर लेना उसका.